The double cardan on the front drive shaft has a tremendous amount of play for some reason, which is not a good thing. We're just gonna make our way back home and go find a drive shaft for this thing. So we'll see you guys when something cool happens. All right, welcome back. We're making our way through the trail here. Maybe we got like 30 minutes till we get back to the trailhead. And then another 5-10 to go down the road to the camp. We'll pick up the truck. We'll make our way to Wasilla. We're gonna go check the shop and see if we got a drive shaft for this. I'm not 100% sure if we do or not. I feel like we might have something that'll work. It's not an XJ drive shaft. Cut this drive shaft at the flange, took a little bit out, shortened it a little bit because it's the JK front drive shaft that we made work for this. So it's kind of already used, unfortunately. I'm glad we caught it before it really caused some damage. That'll rip the T case apart if you're not careful, or mess up the pinion seal, the extra movement and stuff or whatever. All right, so we are back at camp. Got the Jeep parked. We put some rocks under the tires. I'm gonna pull the rear drive shaft because I believe it's squeaking from the same place that this one broke from. So I'm gonna see if I can find a front and a rear drive shaft and get us back on the trail. So we're gonna pull that real quick. Stand by. Okay, all right, so we are now in the truck. We pulled the rear drive shaft out of the Jeep. We got both the drive shafts in the truck. We're gonna start making our way back into town. Hopefully we have something at the shop. I'm really hopeful that we have something that's at least the same length. If I have to change out a U-joint, that's not that big of a deal. But if I have to cut a drive shaft to make the right size drive shaft, will be a project that I was not looking forward to doing today. But we'll do what we got to do to get back out on the trails tomorrow. Tomorrow we better go. All right, we're scouring through the shop right now to see if we can find a front drive shaft and a rear drive shaft. I took both of them out. I might be able to find a new rear. I'm not sure though. We're gonna do some measuring and see what we have laying around in the shop so we can get back out on the trail. This is the front we took off that's damaged. We got something's going on in the double cardan. I think the ears broke off that hold the there's like a ball and socket in the double cardan, and that's broke off. Let's try to get you guys caught up. We've had a few things happen since we last spoke. We got home, we found a couple drive shafts. All the drive shafts that I have found so far, which is a good amount of drive shafts, none are the right size. So I'm gonna have to make my own drive shaft out of all these. I went and found as many drive shafts as I possibly could. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 drive shafts. 2 are from the XJ, and we need to make at least one front, and I would like to make a rear, but we're kind of running out of time because Scott broke his track bar. I got a message from a couple guys in their inReaches saying that Scott broke his track bar, ripped it off or something like that, so he needs welding rods. So he's stuck in Eureka in the middle of the trail needing welding rods. I got some welding rods right here. These are, no, here we go, 1/8, perfect. This is what we want. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do here is fix my situation so that we can go help Scott's situation. The original front drive shaft. This is the joint that gave up the ghost. We're gonna cut the drive shaft apart. So these are 2 separate pieces that are welded together. So we're gonna grind down, see if we can find the center line, and we're gonna cut a perfect circle around that. That should allow us to take the other drive shaft, do the same thing, and marry the two. We'll marry the bottom part of this one that has the good U-joint to the top side of that one and go from there. So let's get to it. is to, these are all rears. The other option is to, if there was a slip yoke on one of these that was decent. But if those are all rears, I'd rather leave those as is. Let's see if we can get, I don't like that that's broken all the way down in there. This one came out way cleaner. Way cleaner. And that was tighter too. Now, we're just gonna weld the crap out of it and hope for the best. So now we need to get this. We need to get that in there and get that straight. Get that as straight as we can and then weld it up and go. Because we're running behind. We're running way behind. All right. Well, I ran out of welding gas, so I'm gonna have to go back to the shop anyway. We're going to head over to the shop. We're gonna use Scott's welder because I ran out of argon, which is awesome, perfect timing, right? Weld the front drive shaft for me up. We'll probably try to grab his rods if we can remember, just so he's using what he knows. And then we're gonna make the dash back up to Eureka. It's 8:30. Hopefully we can get done at the shop around 9:15-ish, 10, 11, 11:30 to get back to camp is the goal here. And then once we get back to camp, I need to put my drive shafts in. We're gonna figure out what the game plan is, if they figured anything out, and then we're probably gonna make our way back out to Scott and have a late night, you know? That's kind of how it goes. I'm not leaving my guy out there in the wilderness unless that's the game plan. If that's the game plan, then we're gonna go from there. We're not too far off. That's gonna be doable. It's like 20 thousandths off or unbalanced. But you know what? For a front drive shaft going through the woods, I'm not too terribly worried about that. That should hold pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, let's put this back in here. I just need to get up to camp, put that in, load the Jeep with all the gear for Scott, and then start making our way to Scott. He's way back there by the waterfall, so we're gonna get moving. See you guys down the road. Okay, so we're back, we're busy, we're trying to get these drive shafts back in. We got them in. Drive shaft front and rear. Got them in. We're gonna pack up to go get Scott. We are loaded up and we are heading out to the trailhead to start heading towards Scott. It's about a 3-hour drive and it is probably 12 o'clock right now. So we're gonna make our journey out to Scott and see if we can get him back to camp. We got this fog coming in. Makes it really really interesting looking out here. We still have another 2.5 hour drive through the trails here to get to them. We're making pretty good time.
Yeah, it's gloomy looking out there. It's a lake.
Really thick down here. See, this front drive shaft holds up compared to the other one from earlier today. This is where we were starting to have some issues. Finally getting up here to the top of Monument. We got to go down the backside now and go up the river. It's about 1:23, 1:30 in the morning. Fun day of wheeling turned into broken repairs and then turned into a recovery real quick. It's kind of how wheeling goes though. Update. I am doing everything I can to keep my eyelids open. I am extremely tired right now. It is 2:38. Scott is somewhere in this valley. So we're gonna be getting close. He's gotta be down here somewhere. I think I'm gonna have to take a nap because I will be useless otherwise. And we're finally getting to Scott here. You can see his headlights off in the distance. What a journey out here this was, man. I am so tired, it's not even funny. I've almost passed out driving like 7 times.